everyone. Welcome to our LinkedIn Live event. Today we'll be talking about the new release wave that we have for Power Platform and Dynamics 365. I'll just give it a minute until we officially kick off and get into the content. But in the meantime, we should have people joining us live either on LinkedIn, YouTube, or if you're welcome watching the recording as well. Yes, this will be recorded. Then welcome as well. Feel free if you want to pop in the chat where you're joining us from. So my name is Rishona from Barhead Solutions. And we also have Kylie here. Kylie, do you want to say hi?
Hi everyone, Kylie here. I am also from Barhead Solutions. I mainly work for the functional consultant for the Dynamic 365 functional for the finance and operations.
Thanks, Kylie. It's great to have you do one of these webinars. This is probably the first webinar that we've done together, but she will be going through finance and operations. So it's good to have that side of things on the ERP side as well, in addition to also the exciting stuff that we have with Power Platform and the customer engagement apps. All right, so why don't we go ahead and kick things off then? So we are packing a lot in the time that we have this afternoon with you to give you all the highlights. The release wave was announced, when was it? Maybe about 2 months ago now. So these are the announcements and the features that Microsoft has for all the things that they have planned and upcoming until about mid next year. All right, so we'll kick off by going through the highlights of what they have upcoming and planned for the Power Platform. And then we will switch over, jump into the dynamic stuff for you. I've started off with my favorite thing here. Also, as we go along, we can see your chat, your comments there. So if there's anything in particular that you're really excited for, let us know. I'll definitely be pointing out my favorites as we go too. And also, if you have any questions, we will answer them as we go too. Just pop it in the chat and we can take a look. And yes, the session will be recorded, so you can go back and rewatch it if you need. Let's start off here with the things that we have coming with Power Automate. I feel the Power Automate stuff were the biggest announcements that are there. Some of these may sound a bit familiar if you're familiar or if you heard about what came out of Microsoft Build earlier in the year. So a few of those things that were announced back then have been made a part of this release wave. And probably the biggest one, my favorite, is this new thing coming to Power Automate called AI Flows. And while I'm I'm going to play this video that Microsoft has made as well to help demonstrate with what AI Flows are. It's a new type of flow that you can build with Power Automate. Currently, we've got our cloud flows, we've got our desktop flows that require you to know what your process is, manually go and build out step by step what that process needs to do. But this stuff is pretty amazing. What this does is a flow where you can simply describe your process, just in natural language. But in addition to that, you can also pull in things like documents that you might have with that reference information on what happens in a process. So what you can simply do, like we can see going on in the video there, is not only can you describe your process to build it out and to automate it, but you can also to get it to look at these reference documents to bring that into your process. So it's not like you need to be manually sitting there reviewing everything in every step that you have. You can simply just upload the content that you want it to refer to, and then it can tell you what will that flow look like so it can run. So over here, we've got an example. Let's say you want to build out a payment process and how you handle your customer invoices. You describe what should happen, and then you might have like a PDF with the steps that people need to follow in order to achieve that, and it can build it out for you. So that's actually due for public preview soon, coming up in September this year. Hopefully we'll get to see that soon. And then it's planned to be generally available coming up in Feb next year. And another video, this is another one that was also announced back at Microsoft Build. So who here uses desktop flows? This is the RPA side of Power Automate, where you can automate things that you do on your desktop. It records things like your keystrokes, putting in things in any of those like old school legacy applications. You might have things like an Excel spreadsheet you might just have sitting on your computer. And the typical way that you build out your desktop flows is that you've got the recorder you click around, you use your keystrokes, and then it can remember that. And then that's the process that it will use over and over again. But AI Recorder is multimodal. So not only will you be telling it where to go and you click around on your screen to build it out, but you can also describe as you go along. So it's a bit like explaining it to someone, like someone in front of you, telling them what you do in a process. You simply just record yourself doing the task on your computer while you're talking for it to be able to tell you what that process is and then tell you and document those steps. So it's going to make that process of building out your desktop flow so much easier by having that ability to bring in your voice to give it some of those guardrails too. Those were probably my top two, but here's just a quick one as well coming with Power Automate. Anyone do stuff here with Outlook? I'm sure we all work with our Outlook meetings. There are a few additional things that we'll have coming just in terms of automating it with our cloud flows. So you can expect a few more things like actions and triggers that we can create flows from using Teams and Outlook. So for example, once a meeting finishes, you can use that as something that can go and kick off your flow to run. All right, let's change it up a bit now. And next, we'll take a look at what we have upcoming with Copilot Studio, used to be called Power Virtual Agents. So this is our chatbot tool, which allows you to go and build your own Copilot. You can put this Copilot or this bot on something like your website for your customers to come and talk to you. You can give it a voice channel. People can call up and talk to it. Or even put it somewhere like Microsoft Teams, where your employees can go and ask questions and get immediate answers using the Copilot that you've built. A few things that are coming here. The screenshot that I have is currently what the analytics area looks like, but there's some new stuff coming here to give you some better insights on how your Copilots or how your bots are performing. I don't have a new screenshot of what that's going to look like just yet. They haven't released that. But they have told us that as part of this release wave, we can expect some changes to the analytics area. The report that you see here that you can get at the moment, it's pretty standard. You can't really do any customization to it. I mean, you can go and build your own custom one if you want, but we should be expecting a few more different types of charts coming that will tap into some of the AI features that are also being introduced as part of Copilot Studio now. So there's better analytics coming compared to what we currently have to help you see how your Copilot is doing and then make your improvements from there. With Copilot Studio, we also have the ability to get responses from images that you upload throughout the chat. In fact, this feature, it already exists across the Microsoft platform, but it will be coming to Copilot Studio now. So you will be able to make this available within the Copilots that you're simply just building within the low-code tool of Copilot Studio. So this is image analysis, and this is really great because you can have contextual conversations about, something that a customer might be referring to. Let's say they've got a picture of a product that they're interested in buying. They can simply just upload that image or point it to that image, and then the Copilot is able to use image analysis to see what it is, answer questions about it, and you can just get responses from it based on things that you upload. Another handy use of this would be for things like uploading receipts or pictures of invoices or documents that you might have questions about. So it's great to see that we'll be able to utilize that in Copilot Studio now and then make that available to our audiences who are using our Copilots, whether that's on our website or another channel that we have. This is a pretty basic one, but I put it in there anyway. We've already got a level of this available in Copilot Studio. These are called suggested prompts that you can add into your Copilot, but it seems like we'll be getting some enhancements to this. If you've ever talked to your Copilot before, you can get it to come up with these, you can see here, these suggested buttons that you can click on. And these are the prompts that people can use to help them with showing them what can they ask questions about, how could they continue on the conversation, So you'll get a bit more customization capability around these. So you can model the conversation a bit more, get people asking the right questions or get them asking the right follow-up questions, and give them a bit more of an idea of what your Copilot can do, directing them into the right place. We've got a few things coming with Power Apps. First here, I've got a couple of things with model-driven apps. And just keep in mind that with the model-driven app stuff, this is also going to be available in your Dynamics 365 tools as well, like Dynamics 365 Sales. If you're already a user of model-driven apps or Dynamics 365, you might have noticed that when you log on, you've got this toggle at the top to switch to the new look. So that's been there for a while, but that is finally going to be generally available now in October this year. If you haven't switched over, then there's just some differences in terms of how the screen looks. It's a lot nicer using the Microsoft Fluent design. So you'll notice like the boxes look nicer, you have some shadows around it. So that will be the new look that we have for our model-driven apps and Dynamics 365. Then another thing coming with our model-driven apps is this upgraded grid functionality that we've got. At the moment, you click on an area in your navigation and then it gives you a list of records. You can do things like filtering on those records, you can change the columns, but there's some great enhancements that we'll have coming to this area, which is going to make reporting on things a lot easier and faster. So, if you're looking at, let's say, a list of opportunities or a list of leads, it's pretty much that list there. But with the new grid, you'll be able to do grouping among it. It will summarize things for you, such as give you sums, minimum values, do aggregations. So, if you maybe wanted to group things like leads or leads by maybe who the salesperson is or by a certain category, you can easily go ahead and do this from the upgraded grid that we've got here. That will allow you to do all that grouping directly from here rather than needing to go and generate a report. And I didn't have much for Canvas apps, in fact, so I've added this one in, even though I think it's been on the previous release waves as well. And that is co-authoring in Canvas apps. So currently, when you want to go and build a Canvas app out, it's really only optimized for one person working on it at a time. But the aim of this co-authoring feature will be that it's a bit like how now, you can build out a PowerPoint presentation or you can be working on a Word document with multiple people at the same time. So any changes that you make, you can see those changes in real time. This is going to make that building a lot easier for people. You can have maybe people building different screens at different times rather than just having only that one person at that one time who's able to be building out your Canvas apps for you. Oops, skipped over there. Let's jump back over to this Dataverse one. So once again, with Dataverse, if you use Dynamics 365 model-driven apps, then the same thing will apply here. And this is quite exciting, a recycle bin for Dataverse. So at the moment, you're going through your records, you might find you don't need something anymore, you're going to delete it. But, if you discover later on, oh, maybe I did need that, it's a bit of an effort to go and recover that. You need to be contacting Microsoft support to get you those records back. So they'll be introducing a concept of a recycle bin where you'll be easily able to go and restore whatever records that you delete. So that will save you the effort that you will have to go through currently if you accidentally delete something. Looking at Power Pages next. All right, so Power Pages used to be Power Apps portals. This is the Power Platform tool that allows you to create like your own low-code website portal. You can give access to like your customers, your suppliers, where they can log on to this Power Page or this portal to perform a task, like submit an application for something, book a meeting. One of the things that they can do is upload files using Power Pages. There's some enhancements to the file upload capability here. It is now going to support users to have the ability to simply drag and drop their files. There'll be an increased size limit on the files too. So great to see those changes coming to Power Pages. And as part of the last release, we've also seen Power Effects be introduced across the design studio of Power Pages. There are a few additional things coming with Power Effects that we don't already have. So for example, the ability to use your Power Effects formulas. So by the way, Power Effects is the low-code language that you use when you're building out your Canvas apps. It's also making its way throughout other areas of the Power Platform too, like Copilot Studio. It's a language similar to Excel that will allow you to apply additional logic to things. So simply with Power Effects here, you can use this to, display certain text. Maybe you want to bring in a customer's name when they log onto their Power Page or the website. So the Power Effects support is part of this release. And you can also, as part of this, use Copilot to give you a bit of a summary on what Power Effects formulas are used, so you can understand better what those formulas are doing that you might be using. Then finally, the last one before we jump over into Dynamics 365 is updates to one of the templates that we currently have in Power Pages. This is the community template. It's one that you get that you can use if you use Dynamics 365. It's essentially a forum. You might have customers there, public discussions where people can post things, you have people responding, and there's some AI updates coming to this template. One of those will be an AI moderator. So if you are someone who is currently a moderator of these public forums, you know that there's quite a few things you need to deal with in terms of spam, making sure that people are actually posting relevant things there. So the AI moderator will help to reduce the workload of that person who might be currently going through and manually managing all of this. It will automatically be able to detect posts that might be spam, perhaps posts that aren't totally relevant. In addition, we'll also see an AI search coming to this as well. The people who are using the community portal will be able to have an enhanced search functionality. So if they're looking for a particular answer to a question or for a topic, the search results that they have will be able to be presented to them in a summary and be more accurate as well. So that takes us to the end of the Power Platform tools. Next, let's move on to Dynamics 365. And at this point, I will hand over to Kylie, who will be kicking off with what we have coming up with finance and operations. Hey, Kylie.
Hi, Rachna. All good. Yeah, thank you for that. Let me start with the Dynamics 365 for finance and operations. So in that finance and operations, I will mainly focus on three main sectors. The first one is the core finance. The second one should be supply chain management, and the last one is the commerce. But last but not least, I may be discuss a little bit more about the Copilot in the Excel and the finance for the later part. Okay, let's go back to the core finance. For sure, in the Dynamics the 365 finance and operation, we are the upcoming release wave 2 should be the version 10.0.41 and 10.0.42 will be released in October this year and the next year in February. So in the core finance, we will I focus on the new release. They focus on some of two main things regarding to the advanced band reconciliation. The first one, Microsoft will do more automation on the process of the advanced band reconciliation. So we have some two main parts. The first part is the bridge transaction. They will have some reduce the manual process to do the bridge transaction and convert into the automatically processing the bridge transaction during bank reconciliation. So in that way, it's better for the users to define the bridge posting main account by a bank account. The next step, they will select the bank account, and that and then automatically clear the bridge transaction during the bank reconciliation. So by this process, they would now generate any bank account transaction during the process of clearing the bridge transactions. Yep. The next thing is the in the new release, they will enhance the sorry, Rishona, can you go back one more step? Yeah, I just want to say the second point. Enhance the matching rule by automatically posting. So like for the existing matching rule in the bank reconciliation, the new release version will enhance some of the matching rule by the system and by automatically posting the voucher, customer payment voucher, vendor payment vouchers, and settle all of the open customer invoice with the bank statement lines. So that's the new things, and most of them regarding to the bank reconciliation. So really interesting and really excited to get to know that. Can you please go the next slide, please? Yep. The second part is the supply chain management. So in that part, I'm mainly interested in the procurement approval management. So this is the automatically approval process via the mobile apps. So this is built in the Power Apps and will improve the way they are working to approve the purchase order or purchase requisition, because they will increase the flexibility, efficiencies, and also more responsiveness to the user. So now, Rishona, can you go the next slide, please? So you can see in the screen here, this is the mobile app, and in the app you can see purchase order, and also you can see the lines. So in the purchase order, you can see which item you would like to approve and what the amount of that budget lies. So the same thing with the purchase requisition. I think that's the most interesting features in the procurement for the approval workflow process, because the user, like the person working in the procurement department, they can easily to access the purchase requisition or the purchase order and look at what inside, what item inside, what is the total cost of that purchase order, and they can approve or reject on their mobile apps. Yeah, I think that's either really interesting features in the October they will release that. The next one, please. Yep. Same thing in the supply chain management, but this is the customer side. So they call the new features called enable the customer repayment in the D365. So you can see that in the version 10.0.41, we need to enable customer repayment feature, and then we need to do some of the reconfiguration. Then we can use that functionality to issue an invoice against the prepayment sale order lines. So you can see in the example I show in the screen. So like if the customer have the sale order with 10,000 K and they have the prepayment invoice for 6,000 K. So after we enable that features, the system will automatically prepayment settle by posting the invoice of the customer. So they will enhance the process of posting the prepayment invoice and also finalize and settle the customer invoice. I think that's also the good point for the supply chains or in the for the sale order in a sale order part. The next slide, please. Yeah. We already finished finance, then supply chains, and now I would like to talk a little bit more about the core commerce. So in the commerce side, we also already know the customer product report, but with the support with the Copilot in the new release version 41 and 42, so we will have more insights about the customer. For example, we can look at the screen on the point of sales or in the finance and operation. We can see that what is the customer favorite products and what is their favorite or preferred price range of that of their previous purchase, or for the product insight. So like we can look at the more details about the products, including the inventory levels, and also in terms of the discount details. So everything regarding to product and also product categories will be more meaningful and more details to the user. Also, we also have the report insight and retail statements insight. So in the retail statement insight, we can see that what is the total profit, and what is the like different level of that store or different online channel. So we can do the compare between the store channels of the commerce, or we can do some of the analysis regarding to the retail statement in terms of different store, different location, or different warehouse. So for the commerce side, most of the thing regarding to provide more details, descriptions about the customer product and the report or retail statement. Yep. Okay. And the last one for the Copilot in Excel, I found that for the previous release from Microsoft, they just opened regarding to the how we can do the data reconciliations. But in this new release, they will open the new features, analyze the business data in Excel. So by that new features, we can like look at the report in the Excel, but with the support of the Copilot, we can see very details, and we can, and the Copilot also give some of the analysis regarding to the data we already added into the Excel, and also generate some of the suggested comparisons or the report insights via data we already look at in the Excel. So I think with the support of the Copilot and with the support with the integration between Excel and the finance operations, so I strongly believe that in futures, when the user using Excel, finance and operations applications, we can do the better business analysis to the regarding to the ERP system. Yeah, I think I already finished most of my part regarding to the Dynamic 365 finance and operations. Maybe I hand over to Rishona for the next thing, customer insights.
Thanks, Kylie. That's really interesting stuff. I'll be keen to see the Copilot in Excel. I think you showed us before a bit of a preview of it.
Yeah.
So keen to see where it goes next with that. In fact, we've got a question here. I will take that one because it's Power Platform related. Let me bring it up on the screen. What's the biggest advantage Copilot in Power Platform brings for business users? The Copilot in Power Platform is around the building side of things. So if you've logged into things like Power Apps, Power Automate recently, you notice that the first thing you see on the home screen now is that Copilot button sitting there. That gives you the box where you can just type in what you want to build and it will create it for you. So that's really the future of where building with the Power Platform is heading. So Copilot, the way that we use it in things like Word, Excel, within Teams, is to help you with generating content, finding information about things. Whereas in Power Platform, it's there as an assistant builder, pretty much. So typically, if you want to build out a Power App or a Power Automate flow, you at least need a bit of an idea of what you're doing to build it out. Whereas now with these things, with Copilot can do, you don't need that extensive training just to go ahead and get something ready to go quickly. You can simply just explain what you want, and then it will build a basis of an app, Dataverse table, content for your Power Pages. So it breaks down the barriers of entry for people. So as much as the Power Platform is already a low-code tool, you don't need much experience to start using it. It just helps accelerate the building, get people turning around to the solutions that they make a lot faster. So I'm pretty sure most of the announcements you'll see now in terms of Power Platform are all Copilot or AI related. All right, so moving on from the finance side of things, let's dive into customer insights, also known or previously known as Dynamics 365 marketing. This is an announcement. If you currently use Dynamics 365 Customer Insights or Marketing, and if you are on Outbound Marketing, which is the older version or older part of the application, then it is time to move, because that is going to be deprecated and removed on next year at the end of June. You will know you're on Outbound because when you go into your marketing application, you will notice that down the bottom it says Outbound instead of Real-Time Marketing. So if you're currently using that, now's the time to move. We at Barhead can help you with that transition. So essentially what real-time marketing can do, which is this new version or the latest version that's been developed for customer insights, is you got a lot more capabilities in it, more ability to connect with your different customers, build more journeys that allow you to nurture your customers a bit more options in how you want to tailor those. So it's targeted around delivering more personalized experiences for your audience. And every new feature that they have with customer insights comes to real-time marketing, not in outbound. So if you're currently on outbound, now's the time to make the change before they remove that from the product. So if you need to go through that change, you can drop us a message or contact Barhead, and we'll be able to help you with that transition that is due next year. And then over here, we have what's been announced as part of this release wave for Dynamics 365 Customer Insights or Marketing. I was quite excited for this one. This is the event portal that they'll be bringing into the product. You can use Customer Insights to create and manage your events, and it's pretty extensive with what you can do. You can promote your events via it. You can manage your wait list, your attendees, your registrations, and it has that end-to-end event management capability. But something that was currently lacking was the ability to easily have a portal where you can have all of your events there. People can browse through them and register for it. It is currently possible to build your own event portal via using something like Power Pages, but this feature that will be coming will just make that a lot easier rather than you needing to go and build that page out. You will have a portal that will easily display all of your upcoming events. People can browse through them, and then it can take them to the registration page where they can sign up and have this single hub to see everything that you might be running currently. And that's due for public preview next month. We have some new stuff coming with the analytics that you get. So the screenshot here, it's what's expected in terms of your email engagement insights. And it's going to be a heat map of your emails. When you go to an email, you'll be able to see what are the areas of it in particular that are getting the most attention from people. With the heat map, it will show you are people clicking on this button more or that link a bit more to give you some more in-depth analytics on how your email and your marketing material is performing. We will have an update too to the form area in Dynamics 365 Customer Insights Journeys. This is the ability to have a form, but it can also link up your contacts and your leads with one another. If you're a user of Customer Insights Journeys at the moment, then you know that if you go and you want to create a form, like one to put on your website to generate leads or people to leave their contact details, then when they submit it, you can choose whether that creates a lead or it creates a contact. But what if they already exist as a contact, but they come through as a lead instead? So this is going to allow you to link up automatically your leads and your contacts together. And I've been doing quite a bit of work with Customer Insights recently, and this is something that customers have been really keen to do themselves. You don't want to have so many unnecessary leads in there or so many unnecessary contacts. So the ability to set some rules around how that matching works, how it can tell if a contact already exists, but when a lead comes through, is going to save a lot of effort on that front and reduce the amount of duplicate records that you have in the system. And I think this is the last one in terms of the product. So this is Dynamics 365 Sales, and we have a few things that will be upcoming over here. This is another interesting one. It's this new immersive homepage that you're going to be seeing now when you log in to Dynamics 365. currently, you open up Dynamics, it takes you to that dashboard that's being created, showing you your charts and the important things that you need to look at. But what if that was replaced with Copilot? So this will provide you with these AI insights to show you what's important. You can see here from the screen, it looks kind of similar to the AI chats, to the Copilot chats that you might currently see in, the Copilot website, or when you go to Microsoft Teams and use it. So on the spot here, actually, I wonder if I can zoom in a bit. This is the blurry picture that they put in with the release wave. So you may not be able to see it that well, but it can come up with a box showing you these AI suggested actions. If you're a seller, you've had some meetings, you've got some deals coming up, it can give you some ideas of, what you might want to do next with a particular account or a lead with these AI suggested actions. It can give you a snapshot of your targets, opportunities perhaps that you might need to focus on, or any latest updates. In addition to that, this is also Copilot. So you've got the chat there that will allow you to use natural language to ask what you're after, and it can present that for you. So excited to see what that looks like once we get it. And I'll zoom out there once this is due for release. So we're expecting the public preview for that in February 2025. There'll be some updates to the manager dashboard in sales as well. This is the conversational insights dashboard that managers can get, where they can go to see how their salespeople have been performing, interacting with people. So there've been some updates to this. This is another one I might try and zoom in on so you can see it. So it's going to give them some additional insights to help them with coaching their salespeople. So let's say your salespeople are having phone call conversations with potential leads and customers. It builds on that conversational analytics that we're already getting, able to do things like pick up what topics are people talking about, what are the trends that might be coming up throughout the conversations. And then if we jump over to the side here, it might give you some suggestions on maybe there's a particular salesperson who had an aggressive conversation with someone and they want to go and check in to see what happened there. Or is there something that keeps coming up throughout the conversations of salespeople? So it gives them those additional insights on the conversational side of things in dynamic sales. We will have some improvements to the AI generated summary that you get when you go and you open up an account. So now currently if you use sales, you open up account, and you can bring up that Copilot side pane to give you an insight into some key things with that account, which is what it currently does. There'll be some enhancements to what's shown in that summary. So let me zoom in there a bit. Now what will be coming is it can show you sort of bit by bit an insight into things. So look at different opportunities, summary of the leads related to that account, any cases related to it, and present that to you in a chart. So it's going to be a lot of an easier and nicer way to simply just go into an account and then summarize all that's happening there. You might have massive email threads and a lot of notes on a particular account, whereas this will give you that nice highlight top level of what's been going on with it. Then the last feature we have for today is one that's there for Copilot for Sales. So this is different from Dynamics 365 Sales. This is another product that's a part of it. It's the one that sits within Teams and Outlook. It allows you to make changes in Dynamics Sales directly from where you're working, Teams and Outlook. So two things that are coming to Copilot for Sales, is the ability to create opportunities and follow-up emails directly from the meeting summary that you get after it. So this screenshot here is that meeting summary that you can get, that Copilot generates after you have a Teams meeting with a customer or with someone. That gives you the transcript, the key points, and an idea of everything that happened, so you don't need to be sitting there writing notes. So what this does, or what it will do soon, is the ability to create and update opportunities directly from here, because, having to go in, constantly be updating the data and making the changes there can be painful, doesn't always get done. So sometimes your data might not be accurate. This will allow your sellers to simply just do this directly from Teams right after the meeting, as well as send follow-up emails from the meeting to keep all your stakeholders engaged. You don't need to be worried about writing notes throughout the meeting. Remember to send out those emails directly after the meeting. It can give you suggestions on those emails and then send them out from here. And we are at time for the webinar for today. So just to finish some things off, first of all, excited to see what you've got in there. Let me just take a look at the chat. We've got a few comments in there of some upcoming things that we've got at Barrhead that I'll talk through at the moment. So if you've got your eyes on the chat, you can go and access those links there. All right, so other things that we do is that if you're interested in upskilling your team on Dynamics 365 or the Power Platform, we've got a whole range of different training programs that we can run. Also, if you're interested in getting certified on the Power Platform, just contact us at Barrhead. I think we might have got that link in the chat there somewhere, as well as some links to some of our upcoming events that we've got. If you happen to be based in Sydney, then we do a monthly AI meetup, which is always fun, where we do a networking session. You can come along and we discuss topics related to AI, sometimes Dynamics 365. So it's a good way to keep it up to date on what's happening and also get to meet you in person. We've got our next one coming up in, actually, no, that's next week, coming up next week. So if you are coming along, I'll be looking forward to seeing you there. Microsoft are running another AI tour. There was one earlier this year. It's an event that they've started doing across different cities around the world, and it's coming back to Sydney this year, later in December. They've now, in fact, opened up the registration for this if you're interested in attending. So that should be another link that we've got in the chat there. All right, and we are at time, so I guess we will wrap things up now. Thank you, everyone, for coming along today, and hope you're excited to see all of these Power Platform and Dynamics 365 tools. Keen to hear as well what ones you're most excited to use as well. Feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. You can also connect with myself and Kylie. We're always posting about the latest events that we're running at Barrhead, the new features when they become available in Power Platform and Dynamics 365. So a good way to stay up to date and know straight away when something new is released and ready for you to try. So thanks again for joining today.
Sure. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Kylie. Bye, everyone.
Bye.